This is a roll-to-hit gaming first look. The first look covers components, rules, and setup. It is designed to give you a quick introduction to a game you might have interest in. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. Let's head into the game room for your roll-to-hit gaming first look host.
Welcome back. I'm Lucas from Roll to Hit Gaming, and today we'll take our first look at Coldwater Crown from publisher Bellwether Games. In this worker placement / worker manipulation game, players take on the roles of competitors in the Coldwater Crown fishing tournament. Players will balance the need to catch fish, hoping for the big one, versus the need to restock their bait as well as trying to keep their opponents at bay. Now, we've all heard the saying, teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. So let's get to the table and learn to fish. First up, let's take a look at what comes in the box. There are 4 player boards where players manage their bait, 60 fish cards, 5 each of 11 different species, 30 master angler cards, 6 each of 5 different species, 1 drawstring bag to hold the 97 bait tokens, 16 each of 6 colors, and 1 clear white crystal, 35 trophy tiles, 15 tackle pieces, 7 wooden angler tokens with stickers to apply, 5 tag tiles, the rule book, and finally, the game board. Now let's walk through how to set up the play area for Coldwater Crown. Begin by placing the game board on the table between all players. Each of the 3 fishing locations, the lake, the shore, and the river, will have a deck of fish which correspond to the 2 colors on each of those locations as seen here. Shuffle these decks and place them fish side up in the designated spaces. You should not be able to see the weight of the fish. Deal out 4 face-down fish and place them on the available spaces so that each space contains exactly 1 fish. Randomize the 5 colored tag tiles and draw 1, placing it on the tag space of the board. Fish of this tag color will provide bonus points at the end of the game, but we'll cover that in a bit. Remove the remaining colored tags from the game. Shuffle the master angler cards and place them near the game area. Draw the top 4 and place them face up. Now we'll organize and place the various trophies on the board. We'll cover how these score later in this video. Place the 2-point trophy labeled 12 on the first to 12 fish challenge space. Shuffle the 6 1-point trophies labeled with the scale symbol and place these trophies side up in a stack on the mystery weight challenge space on the game board. Flip the top trophy to reveal the first mystery weight. Stack the 4 3 same trophies and the 4 different trophies on their matching spaces in the Master Angler Challenge section of the game board. For the Small Species Challenge, Fastest to 8 Species Challenge, and the Shore, Lake, and River contests, stack each type in order from highest to lowest so that the 5 is on top, and place each stack on its matching space of the game board. Place all 15 tackle pieces face down in a stack near the board and give 1 randomly selected token to each player. Place 1 angler token on the red, yellow, and green circular angler spaces on the game board so that the 1 is showing on each token. Then give each player 1 angler token flipped to the one side and return any unused angler tokens to the box. Finally, give each player a player board. As the last part of setup, prepare the bait. Place all the bait except for the clear white piece into the drawstring bag and shake it so the bait is thoroughly mixed. Each player fills zones 3 and 4 on their player board with bait by drawing bait randomly from the bag equal to each zone's number. For example, place 3 bait in zone 3 and 4 in zone 4. Place the clear white bait into the bag and shake the bag thoroughly. Then set the bag to the side of the game board within reach of all players. Before we go through how a turn works, let's talk about the actions associated with each angler space. There are 2 types of spaces, fishing spaces and the port space. Before placing your angler token on a fishing space, note the number of the angler token you place. For your first action, these will be 1s. We'll cover how they become 2s in a few moments. When placing an angler token showing its one side on a fishing space, a player will cast 1 bait the same color as the fishing space you selected from each zone on your player board. In our example here, we place our 1 angler token on the open black space near the river. This means that we'll remove 1 black bait from each zone on our player board to a shared discard pile. When placing an angler token showing its two side on a fishing space, a player will cast all bait the same color as the fishing space you selected from all zones on your player board. In our example here, we place our two angler token on the open green space near the shore. This means that we'll remove all green bait from all zones on our player board to a shared discard pile. Each colored fishing space works in the same manner as we've shown here. The only difference is the port space. When placing an angler token showing its one side on the port space, a player may take one port action. These are: fill one zone on your player board to its bait capacity. That capacity is equal to the zone number. Or, take one Master Angler card and place it face up near your player board. We'll cover Master Angler cards later in this video. When you place an angler token showing its two side on the port space, a player may take two of these port actions in any combination. When you choose the port space action to fill a zone on your player board with bait, follow these steps in order. Choose an empty or partially filled zone on your player board. Draw bait from the bait bag one at a time, adding each to the zone you chose until the number of bait in that zone equals the zone number. On a player's turn, perform these three steps in order. Place your angler token on an unoccupied space on the game board and take that space's actions based on whether your token is a 1 or a 2. Then remove a different angler token from the board and take that space's actions. Finally, flip the angler token you removed from the board in step 2 to its other side. The first token you take will flip to its 2 side. When a player casts the final piece of bait from a zone on their player board, they catch the fish that corresponds to the colored location and the zone they emptied. In our example here, we have cast the final piece of bait from zone 3 of our player board by placing our 1 marker on the purple space. This means that we will catch the fish in zone 3 of the purple location, the shore. Note that it is possible to clear multiple zones at the same time, thus making it possible to catch multiple fish in the same turn. When a player clears either zone 5 or 6 of their player board, that player receives a bonus. When zone 5 is cleared, the player simply takes the top token from the tackle stack. We'll cover tackle in a moment. When clearing zone 6, the player may either catch the fish in zone 6 of the matching colored location, or they may catch the top fish of the draw stack for that location. There are 4 different types of tackle, which each provide a special benefit or break the game rules when used. You may only use tackle on your turn, and you may use more than one in a turn, which could affect each other. The first is the rod. When you catch a fish, you may spend a rod token in order to fish from a different location, but the same zone. For example, if you're about to catch a shore fish from zone 3, instead, catch a lake or river fish from zone 3. Next is the line. When you catch a fish, you may spend a line token in order to catch a fish from an adjacent zone at the same location. For example, if you're about to catch a fish from zone 4 at the lake, you may instead catch the fish from zone 3 or zone 5 at the lake. Then the lure. During a player's turn, they may spend a lure token in order to remove any 2 same-colored pieces of bait from anywhere on your player board, even from different zones. Bait removed in this way may result in you catching a fish. And finally, the reel. During a player's turn, they may spend a reel token in order to swap any 2 different colored pieces of bait on your player board with one another. Through the use of the port action, players can acquire Master Angler cards. Note that you may have a maximum of 3 uncompleted Master Angler cards at a given time. You may never discard, return, or replace a Master Angler card once you've taken it. Each Master Angler card will have a number of bait spaces printed on the card. When casting bait, which matches one of these spaces, instead of discarding the bait, players may place it on the card covering the appropriate space. Once all spaces on a Master Angler card have been covered, the player catches that fish and moves the card to the right side of his player board to represent that it has been caught. Remove all bait from the card and discard it. There are 2 trophy spaces on the board associated with the Master Angler cards, known as Master Angler Challenges. If a player catches 3 of the same type, for example 3 crabs, they claim the topmost token from the 3 same section of the board. If a player catches 4 different types, they claim the topmost token from the 4 different section of the board. These tokens will provide bonus victory points at the end of the game. We've covered the Master Angler challenges, but let's take a closer look at the other contests. First up, the Mystery Weight Challenge. If you catch a fish and its weight matches the weight shown on the top mystery weight tile, reveal your fish's weight to the other players and take that tile into your play area. Then flip the next tile on the game board to show the new mystery weight. Next, the Fastest to 8 Species Challenge. If you catch an 8th unique species of fish, not including Master Angler fish, immediately take the topmost trophy from the Fastest to 8 Species stack. Then the Small Species Challenge. If you catch at least 1 roach, 1 perch, and 1 flounder, immediately take the topmost available trophy from the Small Species Challenge stack. And next is the First to 12 Fish Challenge. If you have 12 or more fish, not including Master Angler fish, at the end of your turn, take the 12 trophy. This triggers the end of the game and all other players get one final turn. Game end is triggered in one of 2 ways. Either a player catches a 12th fish, not including Master Angler fish, or a fishing location cannot be restocked to 4 fish. When one or both of these conditions are met, all other players take one final turn. First, score each of the contests at the lake, the river, and the shore. We'll start with the shore. Of the fish you caught, select one from each shore species that you would like to submit to the shore contest. Generally, you'll want to submit the heaviest fish of each species. However, note that any fish that has a colored tag matching that of the Tagged Fish Challenge token in the center of the board will be worth a bonus victory point at game end. Throw back or discard the shore fish you didn't submit. Add the weights of the fish you submitted to determine your overall weight submission for the shore. The player with the heaviest total weight submission takes the 5-point trophy from the shore trophy stack. The player with the next heaviest takes the next trophy, and so on until all players have taken one trophy. Repeat these steps to score both the lake and then the river contests, then simply add the victory points for claimed trophies together. These are the numbers next to the crown icons. Add 1 point for each completed Master Angler card, and add 1 point for each fish submitted to the lake, shore, and river contest with a colored tag matching that of the Tagged Fish Challenge token in the center of the board. The player with the highest total is declared the winner of the Coldwater Crown. I hope you've enjoyed this first look at Bellwether Games' Coldwater Crown. Obviously, we couldn't cover every rule in this video, but we hope this will help you get started playing, or help you decide if this might be a game for you. For Roll to Hit Gaming, I'm Lucas. Fish on.
Thank you for joining Roll to Hit Gaming for another First Look, where we go inside the box, through the rules, and onto the table. If you liked what you saw and want to see more, please click the like and subscribe buttons. Find us on Facebook and Twitter, and join us in the conversation in the comments below.